Good evening, everybody. While you were away, Amazon just cut 14,000 jobs. And that is a lot of jobs. That's pretty much 4% of the corporate workforce. 4%, that's a lot. 14,000 jobs is a lot. But this is good news for the shareholders, and hopefully it's good news for the customers as well. Because, well, it should bring the prices down. If you don't have all of those salaries to pay, then now you can afford bringing the prices down. Why do I still have to pay $5.99 for Prime? Why can't I pay like $1 now? So this trend of layoffs, corporate layoffs, has been long ongoing. It's started in 2022 pretty much, when Elon Musk wiped away Twitter's workforce. He pretty much devastated the entire company. Everybody was, I think he got rid of 80% of people. 80% of people. And that is a lot of people. But anyway, he is the one that started this, and Meta followed suit. A lot of other companies are cutting off jobs. Microsoft is laying out 15,000 people. Meta has already laid off 3,600 and it's going to add 600 more. Intel got rid of 15,000. IBM got rid of 8,000. Salesforce got rid of 4,000. Overall, this is not a great time to be a corporate worker. Overall, this is not a great time to be employed in these kinds of activities, especially when it comes to very repetitive tasks. So a lot of people in HR have been let go. A lot of people in human management have been let go. And the funny thing about this all is that the people that are ordering these layoffs, they say, well, we don't need all of these people because now we have AI. And they never question that AI could actually, take their jobs. Why can't AI be the manager? Why can't AI be a shareholder? Right? So I guess in the future that's going to happen, and it's going to be a ironic twist of events. The thing is, I guess the knowledge economy is gone. The backdrop of all of this is that some of the most successful people in tech, I'll show you who they are. I'll show you who some of the most, I think they're called something like this, I'm not sure. These are the people that are making a killing in tech. And I guess they know little to nothing about tech. They're not funny, but tech people are not funny, so they'll laugh at anything. You just say, oh, he codes in Python. What a dumbass! Ha 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 ha! Look at this guy. He actually uses C++. He uses Java. Ha! He must be so smart. Are you a virgin? But yeah, this is kind of the humor that you can expect from all of this. And these are the people that make probably more money than tech workers themselves. What I'm saying with this is that the attention economy has officially killed the knowledge economy. There is nothing that you can study and that you can probably get good money from. There are a few exceptions. I'll list them out at the end. But the thing is, corporate jobs were fake to begin with. Corporate jobs were mainly inefficient. Most people didn't do any work. They just sent emails and were like plus ones in meetings. And that is what corporate culture was up until maybe 2022. Actually, I should say pretty much around 2020. And then with remote work, everything changed. And now labor is being outsourced to cheaper destinations like India, I think mainly India, but I guess probably even Malaysia and Singapore is expensive. But mainly India and Malaysia, I guess. Malaysia has a lot of developers, Turkey as well. So anyway, what I'm saying is probably there has never been a better time to be in tech because the tech that we have today is extremely powerful, and most people are just dumb. They just don't know what to make use of it. But you need to go deeper than the average tech bro. You need to go deeper than the average tech worker. You have to really look at society and look at the problems that you may solve. Anyway, the motivation behind these layoffs was, it's trying to get leaner, and AI is changing things. Now, the truth is, and I realized it watching this video from 11 years ago. In this video, AI is detailed to perfection. In this video, AI is explained to the T, and this was 11 years ago. Everything that is happening now was visible 11 years ago. The technology maybe wasn't as performing as now, but it was there. And now humans are becoming like horses that get replaced by cars. And that is really a seismic shift. That is a once in a century kind of perspective shift. That is a one in a century, or maybe even more, like 1 in 3 centuries kind of technological innovation. And thus, here we are. And this is also one of the reasons for which I feel like lately Washington and Silicon Valley, Washington and California switched sides, in that most of the media that now is consumed comes from Washington. Washington, D.C. has become the new Hollywood by all means, while the people exercising power are the corporations in the valley. The reason for this is very, very simple. The reason for this is that the corporations in the valley have access to everybody's data. Every user is leaving behind a trail of everything they do. And that turns out to be much more effective at governing people than, laying out laws, having a police force, having a military, all of that stuff. You don't really need it when you can study your opponent to the very T. When you can collect data regarding people in every aspect, when you can see everything they do, see everything they watch, see everything they think. Because you don't need a Neuralink to look into people's thoughts. You can just see what they post on Facebook or on Twitter, or just see what they like. See the reels they like are going to probably be a good indication of the kind of people they are and what they think and all of that. But anyway, the irony in this is that then you are fed content through black boxes. Could you please explain to us what this algorithm is doing? Well, we don't know. There is no way we can know because it's a black box. But my data isn't a black box. My data is transparent, clear. You see it all. You can do anything you want with it. apparently you own my data. Well, yeah, but you cannot look into our algorithm. It's a black box, and this is probably one of the most problematic things with uh, media right now. Uh, Firstly, the data collection is way too aggressive, way too invasive, way too overreaching, and secondly, well, we cannot have a say in the algorithms. You cannot switch algorithms. You cannot, optimize for something that isn't uh, time spent on platform. So, well, yeah, this is kind of the thing that is going on. The other thing that is going on, the other reason for which Washington is becoming a Hollywood and uh, the Valley is becoming a pseudo government, is that at its core, AI is fundamentally a political thing. At its core, AI is fundamentally a political problem. At its core, AI is fundamentally a question of, okay, how do we reassess now? And for the longest time, this question has been uh, unanswered, mainly because, well, we actually, there is no compelling idea on how to reshape society in a way that is uh, that may work. There simply are too many people, apparently. Um, but the most compelling thing was UBI, which is the government sends you a check for doing nothing every week, and that's it. Which, I mean, I think that the greatest thing that can come out of AI for daily life is that it gets rid of screens. I don't want to use a screen anymore. I don't need a screen. But, I think that would be the most beautiful thing that could happen is AI just gets rid of screens for people. And hopefully we can get rid of data collection. Uh, but this political question has gone unanswered for a long time, for the longest time. And I guess that, the person really opening this up was Elon Musk when he fired everybody at Twitter for being woke, when he bought Twitter to, promote Trump throughout his campaign. I do not think that Elon Musk is on the side of the people at all. Obviously he repeats, I am on the side of humanity. It feels very transhumanistic of you to, invest in Neuralink, to be building the AI that is gonna, I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't even want to think about it, to be honest, but AI at the end is a fundamentally political question. Because ultimately it's going to affect every single body in the world. Everybody who has a job or who doesn't have a job, which, I mean, probably that distinction is going to be kind of redundant in a few years. Humans are becoming like horses. We've invented the engine, now we're commercializing cars. And that's kind of weird. Now, the truth is, what is worse than AGI is closed source, kinda smart AI. Because AGI, well, with AGI, the funny thing about AGI, I was thinking about it, was that, well, if you make it open, a kid may come and he may say, like, now give me a plan to dethrone this AI company. And if it's actually that smart, it's going to give a plan that works. And again, like, we go back to the data problem. If if you have access to the data, you can make a plan that is sensible. If you do not have access to that kind of data, you do not. I mean, the political power of of social media platforms is unbelievable. It is probably impossible to challenge, you know. So I think we're the post-money economy that AI is ushering in is actually a data economy. It is an economy in which data is the most valuable asset, because if you control the data, you can control the minds, and not just the minds. You can control. You can act accordingly, and that really is the thing. At the end of the day, the most important thing is access to data, and this is why, in my opinion, governments should protect their citizens from this. It is unbelievable to me that that isn't the case, especially in countries like Indonesia, like India, like Malaysia, like probably Russia. China is doing it. China is doing it. It's very important that you do not let these companies gain access to all of the data from all of the people in your country, because that is very dangerous. You're not a sovereign country anymore. Now, also adding to this, Berkshire Hathaway just bought 17.8 million shares of Google. Google has been ripping apart everything lately. They're up, I think, 100% this year, something like that. Let me see. Oh, actually, just 57%. Which, I mean, it's considerable. It's much better than the rest of the market. I guess that ultimately, Google. I mean, again, it's a AI is not a technical problem. AI is a political problem. And who could ever be better at politics than people who have all the data about everybody? So it's just a data thing. That's why Facebook is super powerful. That's why Google is super powerful. And I mean, it's likely that even if OpenAI makes the smartest model in the world, Google is just gonna make the same in a year and have all the distribution. So that's really something. That's really something. Obviously, the post-AI economy is something that is very difficult to understand. Obviously, the post-AI economics, an economics in which nobody has jobs is a very difficult one to understand. Mainly because if you lay off everybody, there's nobody to buy stuff, and that, at the end of the day, that destroys GDP. At the end of the day, the thing is, GDP is a consumption metric, not a production metric. And so you may produce all that you want, but if people cannot consume, GDP goes abysmally down. And actually, we've never really witnessed in our lifetimes significant decreases in GDP. I think that AI may be the thing that ushers that in. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it cannot happen. Just as it was very difficult to predict in 2020, around that time, that huge layoffs were coming, or even in 2022. This was so out of the blue. This was so uncommon. This was so weird. I think that significant decreases in GDP may be what's next. That's a clear consequence of this. That's a clear consequence of mass layoffs, mass unemployment, and wealth just gets concentrated in the hands of the few who own the assets, which by now are very few. And the most important asset is access to data. Finally, I mean, I just wanted to bring this to the attention of you. Um, this kind of startups is going very, um, it's going very well. It seems like every billionaire is investing in bunkers and in some sort of DNA editing. So Sam Altman and his husband are funding startup are funding a startup to edit baby genes. Um, so maybe if maybe if I mean maybe if you're looking for a job, go into biotech. That feels like the most important field right now. And I mean in the same backdrop we have Brian Johnson trying to live forever, um, Neuralink, Peter Thiel,
eugenics or things like that, where if you're not going to live forever, you can be like, I don't know, you can be like Denethor, the Mad Steward in Lord of the Rings, where you can light your own funeral fire and set the hour of your death. Best in.
So eugenics feels like a very, very, very active field. It's going to be very interesting. Anyway, to close this off, I recommend you stay away from these guys. They're not funny. I recommend you look into real life, which is much more funny. Just even this photo is more funny than those guys. I don't think the AI is a bubble simply because most people are stupid. And it's not like, haha, people are stupid. It's just, people are unreliable machines. AI is a fucking consistent kind of mediocre intelligence. And that is, good enough. And what else should I say? Well, more layoffs are coming. It's likely that more layoffs are coming. And AI is fundamentally, once again, I'll repeat it. I'll summarize all I've said so far. AI is a fundamentally political question. It's not a technical question, it's a political one. And this is why Silicon Valley is gaining power over governments, which have in turn been turned into, media circuses pretty much. You have to give the populace the illusion of control. Well, in the backdrop, there are think tanks and AI labs working on a post-AI a vision of the world. That is kind of the world that we live in today. Job security is dead. Any sort of security is dead. Any sort of safe haven is unavailable to most people, and that is, in a situation of crises, which, I mean, unstable geopolitical conditions, difficult economy, very, very difficult economy, food quality getting worse, air quality getting worse, this is kind of the situation in which revolutions come out, wars break out, and AI is a political war. That's what it is.